before we dive into the video talking about the parameters, I would kind of want to just talk about the display itself and also a disclaimer. It says it in the title basically, but if you do not have an LH-100 display, this is not the video for you, simply because every scooter can be different. You know, Vu's got like a ZB01, so keep that in your head. There's just so many other ones. There's like the QS94. Again, it just keeps going on and on. And this one in particular, and I'm going to be a little honest, I think this is the worst display you can get. I'm not really blaming it on the company. They are the cheapest one to make from what it looks like, because that's what a lot of the Chinese dealers are using now. Even Maki has switched over to this display. And don't get me wrong, the throttle and everything itself is really smooth. However, I wish there were some better settings in this. Some of them I don't even really fully understand. So in the video, I'm going to try my best to explain some of them, but I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to be perfect on the money with it. If you guys happen to know a little bit more about these, leave a comment down below. I'm sure somebody will read it, of course. But yeah, my biggest pet peeve is that there's no regen on this display. Almost every other display has this, and I feel like the LH-100 is the only one that doesn't have regen. Now, and then we're talking about the Toursor here. We're not talking about Maki. The displays I have happen to be one of the better ones, because they have a regen setting on it. They're not good, but at least they're on there. With this one, it's really more about the hydraulic brakes, which is fine by me, but I personally want regen. If you're paying that amount of money, I would want something like that in a scooter. And I get it, it's a Chinese scooter, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, if Maki can do it, so can Toursor. So, just like I said, if you don't have this display, it's not really the type of video, but if you're still watching it, I appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get into the parameters. Alright, so just to go through really quick, to get to your parameters, you're going to turn the key, and then holding the power button, you're going to get your scooter turned on, but then you're also going to use hold the mode and power button at the same time, and that's going to get you to your parameters. Now, there are 18 parameters that you have to worry about. I think it goes up to 20, but those two you do not touch at all. That's like if you want to do like factory reset. We're not going to deal with those. We're going to go through 1 through 18, the ones that matter, and I will be explaining each one the best of my ability, and I'm also going to say which ones it should be defaulted at. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So parameter 1 is the brightness for the display itself. Now obviously 1 is going to be the darkest, 2 is going to be in the middle, and 3 will be the brightest. The default for that is 3, so it's going to be set for the highest light setting. Parameter 2 is if you want it in miles per hour or kilometers per hour. Its default is at kilometers per hour, which makes sense because it's sold in China. However, I set mine to miles per hour, but I don't think it works accurately. P3 is the voltage settings. So here we got, 24 volts, 36 volts, 48 volts, 52 volts, and 60 volts. Now mine, for some odd reason, doesn't have 52 volts. However, and it says the default is 52, so mine's set at 48. So hopefully I'm not doing any damage to it, but mine does not have 52 volts, at least on my LH-100 display, and this is coming straight from the manual. P4 is actually going to be how long the scooter will stay in rest mode, or basically not touch till it turns off. So it ranges from 1 minute to 60 minutes, and the default is set for 5 minutes. So, that's pretty reasonable. It really just depends if you're just going to leave, how long you're going to leave your scooter for. But then again, would you really leave your scooter alone for that long? P5 is reserve, so that means don't touch it, leave it the way it is. P6 is wheel diameter. So this is actually, the unit is in inches, the accuracy is 0.1, and the default is set to 10. Now, I believe this has to do something with the speed sensor. Again, I'm not fully, perfect on these, but I haven't touched mine and, haven't any issues with it. P7 is also with the wheel. It is a speed measuring magnetic steel number. The range goes from 0 to 255. The default is 28. Now, I actually checked to see if it actually goes up to 255, and it actually only goes up to 100. So I don't know what these settings are for, but this is literally coming straight from the manual. P8 is rate limiting, so the range is set from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. The default is set at 100, so 100% basically is what you want it set for. P9 is 0 is the start setting basically. If you have it set for 0, it means no start, so that means you just hit the throttle and you're off. However, if you set it to 1, it means you're going to need to give it almost like a little kick, and then the motors will start up for you once you start hitting the throttle. However, the default is set at 0, so, it means just hit the throttle and go. P10 is another reserve, so do not touch it. P11 is that Eabs Switch. The range is from 1 to 5. 0 means closing, 1 means the weakest, and 2 is the strongest. Strangely enough, there is not a default for this. I forgot which one mine's at. I believe mine is at 2. I could be wrong. P12 is a soft and hard start strength. The range once again goes through 1 through 5, 1 being the softest and 5 is the hardest. The default is at 3, and I haven't touched it. I think I tried playing it on 4 and 5, and yeah, it just increases your instant torque, and I don't really need to do burnouts every time I start, so 3 is perfectly fine. This is both for P13 and P14. They are both on reserves, so once again, do not touch. Just leave them the way they are. P15 is a controller under voltage. It doesn't explain anything else, so have at it, people. P16 is a odometer 0 setting, so if you keep pressing the odometer, if you hold it for 5 seconds, the odometer will actually reset. I think that's a little stupid, honestly. Why would you reset your odometer? I mean, that's just kind of a sketchy move if you're trying to sell it and claim that there's no mileage on it, I don't know. It's weird. I wouldn't touch it. P17 is for cruise control. Now, I actually really want to play with the setting. A lot of people seem to down cruise control, but I'm kind of all for it because some of the roads we have are long enough to where I can use it. When it's on 0, there's no cruise, but when it's on 1, it's on cruise control. So, to my knowledge, and it should be the same for this one, just like the Mach-E, you gotta hold the throttle down for like 2 to 3 seconds, and it's gotta match the same speed, and then cruise control kicks in. And then, of course, P18 is a reserve, so do not touch. And like I said, 19 and 20 are no touchies at all, and 20 is a factory reset, so stuff you really don't need to touch unless if necessary or asked to from the manufacturer. But alright guys, that's gonna end the video today. I know it might be a little short in a way, but I wanted to go through the parameters. I looked up on YouTube. There's not a single damn person that's made a video on these, and even the ones that have, it's like a different country or whatever, so, it's all, it's stuff I don't understand. So, hopefully this helps some people. If anyone knows if there's electronic braking or regenerative braking settings on this, let me know, because me and several others on Facebook in an electric scooter group are trying to figure it out. So, any info would be appreciated. But thanks again, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next J&M Productions video.